Good leadership will always produce good fruit. Uh, Good leadership will produce leadership that will produce good fruit. I say this to say that that's why it's so important to watch people, to watch what they do, as opposed to being mesmerized by what they say, because the fruit will always testify of, what you believe. What you believe. The fruit will always testify, and will always make the ultimate statement, uh, to let you know, if you are dealing with a real shepherd or a wolf in sheep's clothing. And it's sad to see that people just don't get it. They don't understand it. They don't understand the implications of it. When you have leadership that's looking to feed themselves and to get fat, uh, and it lives off the backs of the people. This is not anything that I've been not been talking about for years. This is why I always talk about, Paul, uh, and Peter and them. What were they? What were they? Did they not have real skills? Uh, Tent making back then was modern day construction today. When you think about it, you're building homes. Uh, you're building a place for people to dwell in. And back then, we lived in tents. Uh, you gotta watch folk because, see, what did he not say? A bad tree cannot produce good fruit. And what does that mean when it comes to leadership? What does that mean when it comes to family? What does that mean when it comes to business? It's all relative when you look at them individually as well. If you're a bad shepherd, your flock is going to die. They're going to constantly be sick. They're going to decrease in value. You're going to have more sicknesses in birth than healthy ones. It's going to show what the outcome. It just makes perfect sense when you think about it. But common sense ain't so common today. Hey, you judge a tree by its fruit. And I don't care anybody. The president of the United States all the way down to the peasant on the street and everybody in between. You better start checking out what can people do. And this is why it always stresses, hey, if a man can't lead his own home, how can he lead the assembly, right? And you look at men today, they can't provide for their own family. So this is why they have to live off of others. People out there today, they cannot go out there and produce for themselves. They need to be supplemented by the group. They must be supplemented by the group because they're incapable of producing it themselves. And when you have wolves at the head, the sheep, in sheep's clothing, the people suffer. This is what we got going on. Just the people suffering is a direct result of people that's literally getting fat off of other people and cannot produce themselves. Oof. Pretty sad, isn't it? But ultimately, the people are responsible because if you're in such a delusional state where someone will have you disregard what you visually see in action, and you're supposed to be a person that's eating good food and living on community and getting all the benefits of a healthy environment, drinking good, clean water, but yet you can't recognize the sewage that's coming out of folk mouth, the lack of increase in these people's. So how can they lead you anywhere if they can't do it for themselves and their own families? How can they do it? It's impossible. It's impossible. but we fall for the yoke doke all the time. Swelling words of vanity. Um, uh, just an exorbitant amount of ass kissing because that's all they got. That's all they got. A whole bunch of mental tricks and shenanigans and a whole bunch of witchcraft. That's all they got because they cannot produce anything. They can only take from others. Let me get on after the flock. Shalom.